So you keep me in an office for 2 straight hours, basically, after I repeatedly said, just give me my money back and let me use the phone. And then you proceed to keep me in the room more, trying to get a second opinion when you literally just got 2. But all I know is there was a point in time where they tried to get me up out of here for disciplinary issues and all that other stuff. And then, oh, she's missing work that I was never missing to begin with. And this all started after my fallout with her. Yeah, that's some petty shit. Yeah, that's some petty shit. You're trying to be petty. You're trying to be on bullshit, and I don't appreciate it.
Back it up. I put on the show, I be acting up. If he ain't got no bread, I'm packing up. I need a rich nigga with a bankroll just so I can add it up. Say ho, my nigga got him an a-hole. He gon' listen and do what I say so. He know I'm only after the...
Hi, I'm Tassie and welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home, and if you're a new subscriber, make yourself at home by clicking that subscribe button. So first off, I want to say thank you so much for being so patient. As I said in the previous video, this was meant to be one solid story time, but I ended up making it into 2 separate story times because I had issues with my storage. Thank you so much for being so patient. Now, if you just so happen to click on this video without watching part 1, make sure you go watch part 1. I will link it down below as well as put it above. The last place we left off on the last story time, I told you guys about how this situation fell into my junior year of high school. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer because I know that y'all have been waiting a good amount of time for the rest of this story time. So we're just going to jump in right where I left off. So it's my junior year of high school, and the first thing that really just made my whole entire junior year just go to absolute shit, they messed up my schedule. How that happened, like I said, I can't prove it. And even though I don't like that bitch, I'm not gonna say that she definitely had a hand in it, because at the end of the day, I can't prove that, and that's a real serious accusation. But literally after me and her had that tit for tat, I did start having trouble with some of my teachers. They would say that I was missing work even though I had did the work. And there was a point in time where one of my teachers, he actually graded one of the assignments that he swore up and down that I was missing, and it was sitting on top of his table. And I'm just like, that's a little weird. And also keep in mind, I think we started having budget cuts or something had happened. So one of my specific teachers ended up becoming a security guard, or I don't know what they were supposed to be called, but a disciplined person. He started becoming one of those. Basically, he got a walkie-talkie, child. He was one of them people. He was the peoples. Okay, that's what he was. Okay, guys, sorry, my camera died. Well, my phone. I'm not balling yet. But back to what I was saying, the part that I left off at, and there was a point in time where one of my teachers had became a disciplinary person or a security guard or something like that. And basically, obviously, he worked close to her, and he was one of the people that basically started saying that I was missing certain work. And after that, we go into my junior year, and this same security guard that used to be my teacher is the one who ends up making up our new schedule, right? So my schedule ends up getting messed up because he ended up doubling as a security guard and a student counselor. Student counselor is usually the person that makes your schedule, because we didn't even have that freedom. I didn't know that in high school you could make your own schedule. We didn't even have that freedom. We just got assigned it, and you just found out during the summer months where your classroom was, etc., etc. So by this point, basically, he had messed up my schedule because he was basically showing favoritism to certain people, and he was honest about it. He said that because we had a chemistry bill, for safety purposes, you can't overbook a chemistry class, and it needs to be 2 people at each table or whatever. So he basically picked the people that had the highest grades in his class. But keep in mind, my grades weren't bad. I actually got A's and B's in his class. I didn't even get a C or anything. So it's just I don't understand why that happened. And then not only that, I would think that it would be going based off of if anything, it would be going based off of GPAs, and my GPA was nice. So why didn't you put me in that class? I don't understand. But besides all of that, there were other classes that would have still given me the little chemistry bill that I had, that were still going to be honors classes. And then not only did we have honors classes, but by this point we had AP classes as well. We had an AP psych class, and we had 2 different AP English classes. So you could have assigned me to any of those, and you didn't, and none of them would have contradicted with my chemistry bill. So he ended up completely butchering my whole entire schedule. And because I went from being in the honors class for 2 years straight and then ended up being in the regular normal classrooms, that messed up my GPA, because the way that they grade you when you're in the honors class is completely different than how they grade you in a normal classroom. So my grades dropped significantly, on top of the fact that I had even more teachers trying to say that I was not doing my work. And because of that 1 year, that was the first time that I ever had to go to summer school. Like, I literally never had to go to summer school majority of my childhood. I never went to summer school until after my junior year of high school. And that was just so crazy to me. Like, okay, so nobody sees the problem with this. Nobody thinks this is suspicious. Once again, I'm not saying that she directly had something to do with it, because that's a serious accusation, but I just find it funny that, like, when me and her have a falling out, now all of a sudden this becomes a problem. And then on top of that, there was a point in time where they tried to say that I was about to completely get expelled from school because I was consistently late and all this other stuff. And basically the file that they were reading was apparently somebody that had the same last name as me, and it was a boy. It was a little boy. And they tried to say that I was supposed to be expelled because of my behavioral issues and me coming late. Not only was it a little boy, but he was also in middle school. I'm a junior. And the only way that we found this out was because one time I had came to school late, and they had all the kids that were late sit in the cafeteria until they got dismissed. Once again, stupid as hell to make people miss out on class time because they're late or whatever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But we all had to sit in the cafeteria because we were late, and then once the bell rung, we could go on to our other classes. So basically, because I was late, that almost got marked as another late slip or absent or whatever to the little boy that apparently had the same last name as me. And that's the way that we found out. Like, they had us completely mixed up. Crazy, just absolute craziness. But then not only that, how, like, I'm not even trying to say this like I'm just so up there, but like, my last name is Tribble. Anybody in the city of Cincinnati with the last name Tribble, I know them because they're my family. I'm related to them. There is no little boy in that school with a last name named Tribble. None of my cousins go there. I don't know what y'all talking about. It sounds like BS to me. Like, it legit sounds like somebody just sat up there and made that up, because none of that makes sense. And I still to this day don't know who last name was Tribble that went to middle school at Taft Elementary. Like, I still don't know who that is. I feel like that's BS. But like I said, I can't prove that this is all what happened, but all I know is there was a point in time where they tried to get me up out of here for disciplinary issues and all that other stuff, and then, oh, she's missing work that I was never missing to begin with. And this all started after my fallout with her. But let's talk about another issue which kind of like fueled the fire to our little beef or whatever. And this happened like in October of my junior year. So because of just like multiple different forces that I couldn't control, I did not go to any of my school's homecoming until my junior year of high school. And during my junior year, I don't have no pictures or nothing. I don't even have the outfit anymore. But during my junior year, our theme was all white. My mom went out of her way to go to the mall and buy me some stuff, and she bought me a skirt and like one of those shirts that kind of flare out at the bottom. And basically we just cheated and we like tucked the shirt into the skirt, and it kind of looked like a dress, but it was also like clearly a two-piece, and it was real simple, it was real cute, and you know, like everything about it was cool. And at that time, my aunt and my uncle were actually the ones that were driving me to my homecoming event, because they were already like about to have a date night somewhere. I think they were about to go to karaoke or something. It was something like that. So they were already on their way to downtown, and they basically were just like, yeah, we'll take Tassie to homecoming because my school is directly downtown and not too far away from where they were going to be at. So they take me down there. I'm fully dressed. I got on my heels. I still got the heels, but I don't feel like going to grab those right now. But you know, like, I had my outfit on, and my uncle walks me into the door. I go to the door. We got to check in our bags because, like I said, I went to a school that was ghetto. So we had to go through the metal detectors, make sure we didn't have anything on us. Security guard checks my bag or whatever. And of course, like, we got security. We even had police too. But like we had like the people outside. I gave them my ticket. They had the little booth where you could like buy a ticket last minute. And then of course you had the assistant principal over to the side. So my uncle is sitting there watching me get checked in. And I'm fully checked in. He checks my bag. I went through the metal detector, nothing went off, and he opens the door for me, and I literally was like a toe into the door. My uncle at this point left, and he's just like, oh, all right, have a good time. I said, okay, bye. Literally, as soon as he leaves and I have my big toe in the door, the assistant principal stops me.
Oh, Lord. Again. A fucking again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit. Same old fuck.
And she says, let me see your outfit. So I show her my outfit. She says, turn around. So I turn around. Then she says something like, she tells me to come into this little office that's like connected to where we were at. So then we go into this office. She's still examining my outfit. And in a nutshell, what she ended up saying was that, first of all, she gave me this little sob story about how she just turned a girl away at the door earlier because her outfit was inappropriate or whatever. Then she goes on to tell me, like, you know, I don't want to be a hypocrite and let you party, but I just sent this girl home, yada, yada, yada. But basically, she felt like my skirt was too short in the back. And I'm just like, girl, whatever. But at the end of the day, I wasn't really tripping because I'm just like, okay, well, let me get my money back and let me use the phone to call my ride and I'll go home. I didn't argue about it. I didn't really say too much about it. I was just like, you know, just give me my money back and let me use the phone, because once again, I still didn't have a phone. So I'm like, you know, do what you got to do. So she is like, at this point, purposely being difficult, because then she tells me, and I still don't even have the jacket, bro. I wish I still had the jacket. But basically, okay, I had an all white jacket that went with my outfit, and it was like, it didn't look exactly like this outfit, but it was like this faux leather material too, right? So why is it that she thought that one of her solutions to make me look more modest, and that was the only way she would have let me into the party, was if I took this leather jacket and tied it around my waist? Now let's just try to tie a leather jacket. Let's just do that and see how that works. That looks stupid, right? That looks mad stupid. So she made me do that, and she said, so how do you feel about that? I said, I feel stupid and I'm not wearing it. So then she says, would you be open to, if a student was able to give you something to cover yourself up, would you be open to that? And I'm just like, I guess. So then she goes and gets somebody. And I'm not even trying to dog this girl out, but let me show you something again. She goes and gets this girl and tells this girl,
do you mind giving her your jacket that she can wear throughout the dance, and then she gives it to you by the end of the night?
The girl says sure, and she goes to get it. But then she makes a comment about her outfit when she leaves and said,
see, she had on her jacket, so I didn't see her dress like that.
This girl, and I'm not dragging her, she was mad cute. She looked super cute. But this lady just brought me into the office because my skirt is too short, right? Tell me why this girl had on a dress that was built like this. Now, this is a shirt, but y'all know what type of dresses I'm talking about. So it was like, I think spaghetti straps at the top, or it was like a halter or something, but it had that super duper long split going all the way down. And she had on some like booty cutter white shorts up under it. And like I said, no shade to that girl whatsoever. No shade to that girl whatsoever. She looked so cute, but she was real skinny. Like, she literally was like the model type. So of course, her having on these booty shorts is not really showing much. It's not really giving anything, but it's just like, nonetheless, if she was built like me, or she did have a little bit of a butt, that would have been out. Her sides, her complete bare sides, they were out. If she had boobs, her boobs would have been visible on the side as well. You didn't call her into the office. You see it now. You didn't call her in and tell her that she had to go home. So why are you coming to me telling me that I have to make alterations to my outfit? That's weird. But then not only that, the girl comes back, right? And around this time, she says that she needs a second opinion. So then she goes and gets two of my teachers. The teachers even tell me, like, she looks fine to me. But at the end of the day, it's after school hours. It's a party. She's fine. Let her go. So then the girl comes back with her jacket, because this is what the lady had told me. This is what the assistant principal told me. She said that she had a jacket. Baby girl, why did this bitch have a trench coat?
Bitch, you know what? See, I think think you trying me? I think you really trying to fuck with me?
She had an all-white trench coat. I'm talking about a legit winter coat that went all the way down to the floor. And she looked at me and said, would you be comfortable wearing that? I said, fuck no. And I really hope, like, whoever that girl was, I hope she don't feel no type of way about me saying that or doing nothing. It was nothing wrong with her. It was nothing wrong with her outfit. But all I'm saying is, why the fuck would it make sense for me to wear a big ass, fat ass, long ass trench coat at a fucking party, at homecoming, because my dress is apparently too short? And I wish I had a picture of how I looked that night, because when I tell y'all, it was not that short. She kept saying,
well, if you bend over, you know, you'd be able to see your butt.
At one point am I bending over at the school function? I know there's some people that will, and I ain't trying to, like, you know, diss them or nothing, but just help me understand what you're trying to say. Because who said I was bending over? Why would that be a problem? Like, I'm confused. And then that's with any skirt, to be honest. You bend over or you know, toot it up or something, of course something is gonna show. There's no skirt that's really gonna cover you unless it goes all the way to your knees or all the way to the floor. So, like, what are you even talking about? That's so stupid. But basically, as she goes to, like, because she's still acting like she's just so unsure, and she steps out the room, my teachers are talking to me. And one of my teachers actually ended up getting an attitude a little bit, because I guess she, like, almost got in trouble. Because all I said was, why, like, my issue isn't even, like, if I gotta go home, I'll go home. I just want my money back, and I want to be able to use the phone so I can go home. And when I tell y'all, like, this is the part that I forgot to tell y'all. I'm so sorry. But, like, literally, I got here, it ends at, like, midnight, I think. So I got here at, like, when did it even open? I think it opened at, like, 8 or 9. And I got there around like 10 something. We literally had like half an hour to an hour left of homecoming by the time I actually got out there. So I'm literally sitting in this woman's office. I'm sitting in this little ass office for like an hour and a half straight, because she's that pressed about my skirt being too short. But keep in mind, did I not just tell her, give me my money back and let me use the phone so that I can call my ride and I will go home? I was not pressed to get into this party. I was not sitting up here geeking over this or nothing. And then, not only that, the little office that she had me in, it had windows connected to where our party was going on. So it was like connected to the lunchroom or whatever. So you had people, not saying that I was embarrassed, but you got mass people looking in here like, okay, she dressed in all white, she here, we just seen her at the front door, why she in here now? And why is she staying there? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? You had my friends coming up to the window like, what's the problem? Like, what is going on? Why they not letting you out? Blah, say blah. So it's just like, once again, just sit up here and think about all of this stuff, bro. I was not pressed for this at all. So the thing that made me mad when one of my teachers, you know, started talking to me and asking me what's wrong, I told them, like, my only issue is this. I told her a long time ago, I am willing to go home. I just want my money back, and I just want to be able to use the phone so that I can call my ride. But the thing that frustrates me is that this could have been handled a long time ago if they had put that there were restrictions on our outfits on the flyers, or said it during an announcement. That's it. And I had said this when the assistant principal was coming back to the room. So the teacher that I used to have, she was our art teacher. She caught an attitude with me because this bitch walked in the room. But see, I didn't know that because I was facing them and talking to them. I wasn't facing this way towards the door. So I'm facing them, talking to them, saying I feel like it should have been handled this, that, and the third way. So I'm guessing because the lady stepping in the room, my art teacher started tripping, and she started becoming a brand new person, and she accused me of saying, you're a junior, you should know that there's restrictions and blah, 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 blah. Now, like I said, this is literally my first homecoming being here. So no, I didn't know that there were restrictions. And even then, it's not like I was dressed provocatively. Like, I literally was not dressed off the chain. It was literally a tennis skirt, and it was a pretty lengthy tennis skirt. It was a tennis skirt and a white top with like a fake gold chain on it. That was it. Like, you would have thought I really came in looking like this. You would have thought I was wearing something like this, the way that they was acting. But like I said earlier, this was my first time coming to homecoming. No, I don't know that they have restrictions because I didn't get a chance to go to my first two. She literally had an attitude with me, gave me the hand and everything, like was literally acting like this bitch. And I'm sitting here like, what? Because she literally was just defending me 2 seconds ago. And she said like, oh, see, you got too much mouth and da da da. What? What is this bitch telling y'all? Like, what is she feeding y'all? But then it got to a point to where she comes back in the room. She's still saying,
I don't know. I really don't know if I should let you out. I don't know if I should let you go. I mean, I turned a girl away at the door.
girl, fuck all of that. We don't care about that. I already told you what's up with me. I already told you, just give me my punk ass $10 back. Let me use the phone and I'll leave. I done said that already. I done said that probably 2-3 times by this point. It's going on 2 hours and she's still doing this. So it finally got to a point to where my teacher, who was my computer teacher at the time, my teacher literally just like took my skirt when she wasn't even in the room. She waited until she left the room. She pulled my skirt down a little bit, like just a little bit, and then she rushed me out the door and was just like, girl, just go before she come back. And that whole entire night was destroyed for me because of that bitch. Like, I literally did not have a good homecoming that night. I was so pissed off. I just was not in the mood. I really did want to go home. I really did. I didn't even want to be there no more because of her. But taking all of that into consideration, look at that whole entire situation. Look at all the shit that I told you. She waits until my ride leaves in order to say something about my attire. You didn't have the guts to say that in front of my uncle. You didn't have the guts to say that when I pulled up the first time. Then I hear from my uncle and my aunt, because my uncle had told my aunt this, because he's the one that walked me to the door. My uncle said, you know, I felt like they was looking at Tasi kind of weird when she stepped through the door, like they was on some hate and shit. So this was plotted. This was plotted. This was something that y'all planned on doing in the first place. Okay, so you wait until my ride leaves in order to address my attire, but you didn't have that energy when my uncle was standing right here with me. You wait until I'm literally in the door to try and pull me into the office and say something about my attire. But we done seen 2-3 people, because that's another thing I forgot to mention. She was bringing people in as an example of like, why I just don't know about letting you into the party. And she still let them into the party. So you keep me in an office for 2 straight hours, basically, after I repeatedly said, just give me my money back and let me use the phone. Then you take me to a room where we're supposed to be in private and secluded and all of that, because I just don't want to embarrass her. But you got me in a room where it got hella windows, and the windows are facing where the party is going on and everybody can see. You tried to make me wear a winter fucking coat. And then you proceed to keep me in the room more, trying to get a second opinion when you literally just got 2. Yeah, that's some petty shit. Yeah, that's some petty shit. You're trying to be petty. You're trying to be on bullshit, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, it was starting to get a little dark outside. It looked like it's about to rain, so I turned on my ring light. But this is pretty much the end of the story. So basically, from the lunchtime moment, me and her was never cool. But after that homecoming situation, I literally did not mess with this woman. Like, I hated her guts. I wanted nothing to do with her. I literally was just like, fuck this bitch. Like, wholeheartedly through and through, fuck this bitch. I don't mess with her, because she's purposely trying to be petty and she's purposely trying to do shit. So whenever she would come into my vicinity, I would be rude to her. Like, I did not care. There was a point in time where she tried to tell people like, go sit down, da da da. I stood right there, because I want you to say something to me. Like, I literally had beef with this bitch, and she used to do petty shit back in return. I had beef with this old ass bitch, bro, while I was in high school, and it's so ridiculous. So then, when we finally graduate, of course, everybody up on stage or whatever, and you gotta like shake their hand. I only wanted to hug my principal. That was it. I only wanted to hug my principal. I'm shaking everybody's hand. I get to her, and I'm being cordial, because, you know, like, it's my graduation. I ain't never gonna see your ass again. So I'm, you know, shake my hand. You know, this bitch, she's sitting there like,
oh, come on now.
and she hugs me.
These hands, you see how quick that was? I really don't want to have to give them to you.
And the way I just wanted to mug that bitch in her fucking face, bro. Like, why are you touching me? Why are you hugging me and I don't fuck with you? And I literally did not hug her back. I sat there. I'm like, bitch, get the fuck off of me. And she tried to make it a lengthy hug too. No, bitch, I don't fuck with you. And you know that. Don't think because my parents in the audience, I'm not going to show out, because I've been telling them about this bitch too. They been new. They been new. So if I did just haul off and beat this bitch ass at graduation, hey, you know what I'm saying? So then we go down the rest of the line, and I'm hugging my principal and hugging everybody else that I actually care about, and I just don't want nothing to do with this bitch. I think my cousin might still have the video. I'm about to ask her. I'm about to show y'all. I'm literally about to show y'all. When we hugged, it was so awkward, and I swear, like, the room low-key got quiet because everybody was just looking like, what? Girl, what are you doing? So yeah, guys, that is how I had beef with my assistant principal. This 60-something-year-old woman, old as shit, with a job, with a career, was hating on a bitch. Felt some type of way about a bitch, yeah. Crazy, right? Crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, make sure that you like, comment down below if you had to check somebody that was an authoritative figure while you were in school, because some of these people be getting out of pocket. Let me know if you want more story times. Don't forget to subscribe, because you know I need them subscribers. And of course, share if you can. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.